It's a little different than all the others. It is animated.
But is it worth seeing? Fox 5's Tony Sanical checks it out in her Dinner for Two movie review. Well, guys, my next co-reviewers are a brother and sister team that takes Star Wars very seriously, and they do know a good kid flick when they see one. Take it away, Paloma and Manny.
I'm Paloma and I'm 7 years old, and Tony picked me and my brother Manny to go review a movie. Let's do it!
Soon the Jedi will not only be at war with you, Count, but the Hutt clan as well.
This animated installment bridges the gap between Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, and Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, focusing on the conflict between a clone army led by Count Dooku and the Jedi Knights.
Negotiate the treaty with Jabba. Obi-Wan will. Jabba's son, your mission will be Skywalker.
You will recognize the familiar faces and some of the voices as well.
We need to make contact with General Kenobi.
Samuel L. Jackson reprises his role as Mace Windu, as does Christopher Lee, a.k.a. Count Dooku. The plot centers around the kidnapping of Jabba the Hutt's son, the Jedi's quest to save him, and the Count's attempts at evil doing. All the while, action with lightsabers ensues. After the flick, we headed to Fluffy's Cafe, where we met up with their new baby brother to discuss the details. From 1 to 10, 10 being the best, how good was it?
100.
No! 100? You must have really liked it.
I did.
Were there any boring parts in the movie?
Yeah, there was one boring part.
They have nowhere to run.
All right, Manny, I gotta ask you, did you like the movie?
Yeah.
Do you think your friends would like this movie?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's really cool.
Which do you think was better, Star Wars or WALL-E?
WALL-E.
No, really?
Yeah.
All right, Paloma, should people...
They should see it because it goes faster by.
It goes by so fast?
Yeah.
Does that mean it's good?
Yeah.
There's people should see it.
Yeah.
Nice job, guys. Well, I'm going to have to agree with your dad, who felt it was a little long at 1 hour and 40 minutes. But I did love the animation, brought to you by David Filoni, who created the series Avatar on Nickelodeon. And I bet your kids will, too. So I'm saying, see it. If you want to review the next big movie with me on TV, just log on to myfoxny.com and tell me why. It's that easy, people. So let's do it. Guys, back to you.
All right, Tony. You know who does a mean Darth Vader?
Who?
One guess.
Weather guy.
There he is.
There he is.
Look at it.
That sounds like a storm. Is it going to rain tomorrow, Nick?
The force is strong with you, Ernie and Barry.
All right. Good night, Nick.
It's time to say...
Magic Mountain.
The summer resort of the gods. The gods used to move from Olympus and spend the summer here in Pelion. Esculapius, you call him?
The father of medicine, the god of medicine, yeah.
He lived here. Yes, It's the mountain of the centaurs, especially the most important and them all, centaur Chiron. He was the one who taught Achilles.
Achilles, the hero of the Trojan War.
He was the teacher of Achilles.
Even today, when you talk to Greeks, the gods and heroes are real. Many people have argued that these stories have some kind of historical basis because they seem so rooted in real places, like Mount Pelion here. But you always have to remember with myth that they mingle fantasy and fairy tale and real-life detail in a completely haphazard and delightful way. The story of Jason's like that. It begins with a little boy who has lost his mother and father, being brought up here on Mount Pelion by a kindly centaur, half man, half horse. From the very beginning, you're entering the world of magic. In Greek myth, Chiron the centaur was the first practitioner of medicine.
plenty of healing herbs here.
Yeah, you can smell it everywhere, can't you? Yep. So,
And Jason's name, a Bronze Age name, means the healer.
wow, look at that. Isn't that amazing? So this is the cave where Jason was brought up by
Εδώ ήταν το μέρος που ο Ιάσον...
Όχι μόνο ο Ιάσονας, αλλά και πάρα πολλοί ήρωες της ιστορίας μας.
In ancient times, tales were told of strange rituals up here. How men came to the cave dressed in freshly killed rams' fleeces. Some said human beings were sacrificed.
So, Stathis, in ancient Greece, there used to be a festival every year here in the summer where people came up to the cave and dressed up in sheepskins and things like this. Have you ever heard of any festival like this that survived into modern times?
Όχι, μας δεν προλάβαμε να τα δούμε. Τα ακούσαμε ότι γινόταν σε παλιά χρόνια.
It was as recent as turn of the century.
100 years ago. Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
You can imagine it though here, can't you?
So there's a first clue to the ancient beliefs from which Jason's tale is spun. Like fairy tales, myths express our deepest thoughts, hopes and fears. But in myths, especially Greek myths, the hero doesn't always live happily ever after. When he's 20 years old, Jason leaves Mount Pelion to claim his birthright, his father's kingdom. On the way, he loses a sandal carrying an old woman across a river. She's his protectress, the goddess Hera, in disguise. And then Jason heads down into the plain of Iolkos to his uncle's palace.
Though King Pelias sat upon the throne of Iolkos, he was uneasy. A prophecy from the oracle at Delphi had warned him to beware a stranger who would come wearing just one sandal. So when Jason arrived and boldly claimed the throne, the king was afraid. The sacred law of hospitality forbade him from harming Jason directly, but Pelias was cunning. "Tell me, young man," he said to Jason, "if you were me, and you were faced with a challenger to your throne, what would you do?" Jason replied, "I would set him a task that none but the gods could hope to perform." "Very well then," said Pelias. "If you would wear my crown, you must first bring me the golden fleece."
But what was the fleece? Well, the fleece came from a marvelous golden ram, a gift of the king of the gods, Zeus himself. The ram the sun god had sacrificed it and hung the fleece in a sacred tree guarded by a dragon. A wondrous portent in a land no human had ever seen. Greek tradition set the tale of Jason in the age of heroes, the time of the Trojan War. What we call the Mycenaean age. Of course, it sounds like fairy tale, but Troy itself was a fairy tale till the archaeologists dug it up. And in 2001 came another amazing discovery, the Bronze Age palace of Jason's Iolkos, frozen in the moment of its final destruction.
Βλέπετε πάρα πολλές κύλικες, αλλά μαζί με τις... Αυτό που έχει...
For Dr. Adrimis Sismani, the fruit of a lifetime's quest.
Είναι είναι και στη Μικηναϊκή κοινή.
These are new. They haven't been used.
Καθημερινή χρήση. Βλέπετε ότι εδώ έχει φύγει από τη θέση του.
So this is a room in the Mycenaean palace of Iolkos, next to the kitchen block, destroyed, nobody's sure what the reason would be, towards 1200 BC, so after the time of the legendary time, but the marks of the catastrophe everywhere on the walls. A shelf or something like this has fallen down with these unused pieces of pottery around it. So what you're looking at is the actual destruction, debris of the last Mycenaean palace of Iolkos in the position where it fell 3,000 more years ago. It's staggering, isn't it?
So the tale has a place and a time. In the late Bronze Age, around 1400 BC, Iolkos was the northernmost Greek kingdom, a seafaring place since prehistory. If there ever was such an adventure, it surely began here. But to go to the end of the earth, you need a boat. And not just any boat.
This is going to be a 50-oared Mycenaean boat, reconstruction of the Argo, made from wood from Mount Pelion.
Its name, Argo, means swift. The Greeks say it was the first boat to have a name and a personality.
So why are you putting water on the wood?
Because we have to keep it dry, to keep it wet, to take the right shape.
Oh, so it enables you to bend the wood. Oh, right, yeah. Just look at it. Great pieces of tree just bent. Like. And this technique of just taking like 3 great big pieces of a tree and putting them together. This is an ancient technique.
Yes.
It's absolutely mind-blowing, isn't it? It's so kind of primitive. You put 3 trees together, you sail it to the Black Sea. So do you think something like this could sail? So you could sail it to the Black Sea, to the Pontus?
Yes, of course, to the Pontus. Very strong.
When they build the Argo, they put a piece of wood in from Dodona. You know the magic wood. Which is it? The magic wood is this.
The wood which speaks.
Yeah.
Yes. This is oak. The magic oak from Dodona.
This is the magic oak from Dodona.
All Jason needed now was a crew, but not just any crew. He didn't wander the waterfront of Volos looking for deckhands. The legend as it's come down to us is a roll call of every great name from the Age of Heroes. The most